morning. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. So we've got the speakers turned up loud. Can we just drop that a little bit? Today I'm announcing the appointment of Mark Caruso to fill the vacancy that exists within the judgeships in Schenectady City Court. Mark's a Union College graduate. He has his JD from Albany Law. He's got 10 years experience as an assistant district attorney, 11 years experience as a public defender. He's worked as a teacher, a college instructor, his broad-based community involvement. He will be a true asset to Schenectady City Court. And so it is a proud day for him, his family, and with that I'm going to administer the oath. Raise your right hand and swear after me. I, state your full name,
Mark Caruso,
do solemnly swear that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the United States,
and that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will support and uphold the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Charter and the laws of the City of Schenectady,
and the Charter and the laws of the City of Schenectady,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
as a City Court Judge in and for the City of Schenectady
as a City Court Judge in and for the City of Schenectady
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
What do you want to do? Thank you. I probably don't need the microphones. Thank you, Mayor. I am honored and I'm humbled by the announcement, and I'm extremely grateful for this appointment. As a former prosecutor, having served in that capacity for over 10 years, I know how important each and every case is to the victim of a crime, as well as the arresting police officers. As a defense attorney for over 11 years, I know how important that 3 minutes of face time each person accused of a crime gets in front of a judge, how that is important to them when they have the opportunity of their liberty possibly being taken away, or the stigma of possibly being convicted of a crime. I know that this job as City Court Judge involves in part finding the proper balance between those two competing interests. I've served on both sides of the law in my 22-year career, and I promise that all who appear before me will be treated fairly and equally under the law. Attorneys, accused, victims of crimes that appear before me will be treated with the respect and professionalism that they all deserve. I will do my best to make sure that the people of the state of New York are seeking justice for the victims in their cases that they prosecute, while ensuring that each person accused of a crime receives the due process of law that he or she deserves. I'm looking forward to starting my job and to work hard at it, joining the bench with Judge Loyola, Judge Blanchfield, and Judge Hoffman. Again, I'll come back to the mayor in a few moments, but there are a few other people that I'd like to thank, many other people actually that have been instrumental in my career, and I don't think I'd be standing up here before you today without the help of these people. Attorney Paul Schicchetti, in 1992, he hired me straight out of law school. I knew his sister from Union College. I think we used to run a few pounds ago, however, for me. And he gave me a chance. That was the first job that I had in law here in the city of Schenectady. I want to thank former Assistant DA Joanna Sini, who later went on to become our family court judge. She actually recruited me, if you will, and convinced Bob Carney to hire me as an Assistant DA back in December of 1993. I also want to thank Bob Carney for hiring me back in December of 1993, and at some point for promoting me to his domestic violence prosecutor. In the 7 years that I served for Bob Carney, I tried over 37 felony cases for him, a number of bench trials, a number of jury trials in city court. I was in police court, which is one of the courts I'll be in shortly, for about 2.5 to 3 years full time. At some point, I was down there on my domestic violence cases. Excuse me. I had the pleasure of working with a lot of great attorneys in that office. Jerry Dwyer, who recently retired, Phil Mueller, who's still there, Mr. Carney himself, and Alan Gabel. Alan Gabel was a chief trial attorney, and I followed him around a lot. I am proud to say that I learned a lot from Alan, watching him try cases, second seating him sometimes, fighting with him, etc. I'd say the biggest thing that I gained from Alan was Alan telling me the best way you're going to learn is to try as many cases as you can. And he was 100% right. After my stay at the DA's office, Judge Carter, I want to thank him, Judge Will Carter, he was the chief assistant DA in Albany at that time working for Paul Klein, and he stole me from Schenectady for a brief period of time. I went to the Albany DA's office for 3 years. I tried 23 felony cases during that time period for Paul Klein. It was a good experience. I got to meet different judges, do things a little bit differently over in Albany than they do in Schenectady. So it's always good to see a different perspective on cases and how judges handle things. For some of you that go over and practice in Albany, you probably know what I mean a little bit by that. What a lot of you don't know is that I never left Schenectady County. I stayed here. I was still part of my community. I stayed involved, and I have to at this point thank Bob Brem, Chris Gardner, and Ken Bolko, who are instrumental in bringing me back to work in Schenectady County. And I got named public defender back on March 1st of 2004. That was 11 years and 23 days ago. I have been unemployed for an hour and 10 minutes now. I had to resign my position this morning so that I could get sworn in here today. And hopefully looks like I have a new job to go to, so I'm very pleased with that. I want to thank the county manager, Kathy Rooney, for working with me over the past 11 years, the county legislators that I've dealt with, as well as our county chairs over the 3-year period, Sue Savage, Judy D'Agostino, and Tony Jasinski. Again, I appreciate all the help that they have given me, helping me turn around the office, make it a more professional office where people are accountable to the clients that they're assigned to, and where people can feel a sense of accomplishment when they've helped somebody out of a very tough situation. I want to thank my staff at the PD's office. I see a lot of them over here today. Certainly without you, I would not be here today. That job in the public defender's office is a very hard job. It's a selfless job. You don't get a lot of thanks from time to time. You probably didn't get as many thanks as you should have for me over the years throughout all the work that you've done for me. But I appreciate all the hard work that everybody has put in there. It takes a certain type of individual to work in the public defender's office, and the staff that I have had over the years have been great. In particular, I want to mention Janice Spano, my executive secretary. She keeps us all in line. I want to thank the County Democratic Chair, Joe Landry, as well as the City Democratic Chair, Dick Naylor, for their past support and their continued support. I also want to thank my family. 2 of them are here today. Alexandra is on my left. This is my oldest daughter. She is a senior at Union College. She'll be graduating in June. I'm looking for a job shortly, so if any of you are looking for help, she'll be looking for a job. Gabriella, my youngest daughter, or as she loves when I call her my baby, 19, is a second-year student at Salem State College in Massachusetts, Salem State University in Massachusetts. She's the drummer in the family, so if you're ever driving by Belmont Avenue and you hear a loud noise, it's most likely her in the basement, not me. Pardon me. I thank you girls for being here with me today. I love you both. You are my lives. I hope you know that. I'm sure you know that. I make decisions in my life based on both of you, and I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of the women that you have both become. I had hoped to have more family here today, and some of you who know me know that last week my family was involved in a tragic situation in Framingham, Mass. When my oldest sister, I guess it'd be my second youngest niece, was tragically killed in a domestic violence murder-suicide. She was killed, and her boyfriend of 4 years killed himself. And again, unfortunately, couldn't have any other family members with us here today. In fact, we're going out of town shortly after here to be with our family and celebrate my niece, Michelle Batista's life. She was 30 years old. I wish you could have met Jim and Alice Kelly. They would have been up here and very proud of me. They are my second parents. I lost my mom in law school. She was 49 when she died of cancer. My father has never been part of my life, so I grew up with my mom and my 3 sisters in the Chesterbrook projects in Massachusetts. So pretty close to I'd say the closest thing we have here is Yates Village. So that's where I grew up with my mother and my sisters. Again, my mother was a huge part of my life, and I lost her in law school. Jim and Alice Kelly are, again, my second set of parents, if you will. They've been around me my whole life, or since I was 4 years old. And I know that they're very disappointed that they couldn't come up here today, but they know they're going to see me, obviously, today, and they're going to be with us today as we, again, celebrate my niece's life. My mother was sick most of her adult life, and she wasn't able to work. So that's in part why I grew up in a low-income housing project on welfare, donations from church, hand-me-downs from other people. It was an interesting upbringing, but it was a good one. And I think that all the qualities, the good qualities that I feel I possess, I've learned them from my mother, Elaine, and my second mother, Alice Kelly, and Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly is the hardest working man I've ever met. He just turned 60 or 61. He's a retired fire captain from the Waltham Fire Department. He has instilled in me values of hard work, being a good man, being a good father, and doing things to help others that are less fortunate. Without them, without that influence in my life, I don't think I'd be here today, and I certainly wouldn't be the person that I am today. Again, I want to end it with thanking the mayor once again for appointing me to this prestigious post. I promise to fulfill my oath and ensure that justice is accomplished in each and every case that I preside over. Again, thank you all for coming. Thank you.